The best way to predict the future is to create it. It continues to resonate with me a year later because it's a very Texan mentality. Boldly state your end game and make it happen. Doesn't get much simpler than that. The best way to predict the future is to create it. I think that this also hits home with me, not only because it's a Texan mentality, but it's similar to how I view the world. Some of you may be familiar with my background, some may not. While I grew up on an organic produce farm and spend all of my downtime usually in nature, I actually did not start my career in conservation. I was in the tech sector. I focused on strategic planning and product management, and then ultimately was running an education technology startup before I came to Texan by Nature. But 5 years ago, I had the serendipitous opportunity after a camping trip, after being out in nature for about a week, to get to know the Texan by Nature board. And I was struck by their vision, by their goals, by their commitment for the massive change that they wanted to make for conservation in Texas and beyond. And so after my initial conversation with the board, I do what I do. I did a lot of research. Those who know me know I love data. So I did a whole market analysis on what is this group, what are they doing, how can change really be affected in this space? And I got excited about what I saw as opportunity, this gap in between industry and conservation and community, and helping all of those groups work together to build on the best of the best that was out there, to really change the funding conversation, to change the partnership conversation, to change the use of data and science on a continual basis. And I got excited to impact natural resources in a new and different and big way. And so sometimes people ask, okay, well, that's great. Why didn't you just volunteer? Like, why would you change? This is not what you were trained in. It's not how you started. It's not where you thought you were going to go. What were you doing? And to me, it wasn't a drastic change from a work standpoint. The work is the same. It's still market analysis. It's still strategic planning. It's still roadmap planning and development and execution. It's the same work. But the content is what's drastically different for me. It's still about bottom line, always about bottom line, but to me the bottom line changed. It changed from a dollar value to the bottom line being our future. And so I ultimately altered my path because I wanted a different future for my family, of course, for Texas, but also for the globe. I wanted to be part of predicting the future by creating it. And I wanted to do this with this wonderful team and all of these wonderful partners. I saw a future at that point where funding and participation in conservation happened differently, where we built on learnings and best practices from one another. We built on the expertise of our scientists, our conservationists, our landowners, our business leaders, and we shared that across all sectors. We built towards broader collaboration, deeper understanding of systems and interactions, and a future where we understood and embraced the returns that were right in front of us, the returns that happened because of conservation yields. A future where industry could more easily integrate local, on-the-ground conservation into long-term environmental strategy. That's part of the future that I wanted to create. And I think we've made tremendous progress over the last 5 years. This annual summit was a key aspect of our vision for creating. We originally envisioned this event as a meeting of minds, and that's why we chose summit instead of talking about a symposium or a conference. It was really bringing the heads of all the organizations, the decision makers, the change makers together to have dialogue and work together towards change. And we're thrilled this morning to have almost 600 of you joining us live and virtually to have this conversation. You represent every aspect of industry, every aspect of conservation. You're all in the room today. So as we explore today the human aspect of conservation, system-level thinking, and models of success, I want to challenge you to engage deeply. Please ask questions. This is a conversation. It shouldn't be a one-way flow. Think about how you can apply what's said on stage today, what's asked from the audience, what you learn in the online chat, or what you're talking about in the networking times. Think about how you can apply that to your own space. Meet new partners and join us in predicting the future for the world by creating it right here. So let's get started.